Today, we're going to learn how to perform a paired t-test in SPSS. So we have some data about the following example. A local hospital implements a mandatory exercise break for its workers to see if it's going to improve job satisfaction as measured by a questionnaire. You're going to use a significance level of 5%. Like many of your paired t-tests that you're going to run, this involves a pretty classic before and after scenario. You're going to measure the job satisfaction levels of workers beforehand. You'll have an intervention, which is the mandatory exercise break. And then you're going to measure their job satisfaction levels afterward. So let's take a look at SPSS, import our data, and see how to run this. So we go to SPSS and we import our data set. We have two columns of data. We have the first column, which shows the job satisfaction level of the employees before the exercise program and the job satisfaction levels afterward. So we're going to click on Analyze, and we want to compare the means. We want to know, does the average job satisfaction score go up after this new program? This is a paired samples t-test. That is, you can pair the two samples. We have someone's before job satisfaction level paired with their after job satisfaction level. We find our two variables, the before and the after. It's important that when you have these two variables, that the order in which the people's scores appear are the same. That is, for person one, their before score comes first in the list, and their post score comes first in the list, and so forth. We can click on options to see if we want to include anything else, but there's something else to include in this case. So we run our hypothesis test, and we get a significance level of 0.006. So what that's telling us is that it's possible that this result is just due to chance, but it's pretty unlikely. So let's kind of take a look at the SPSS output and see how to interpret it. The part you're looking at is paired samples test, and the mean is -8.5. And at first glance, you might think this is bad, but it's actually good, because if this is negative, it means that their job satisfaction levels before are smaller than their job satisfaction afterward. And in our sample, the average was 8.5 points larger after the new program. And we see over here that we have a significance level of 0.006. This is a really good p-value. It is much smaller than 5%. It's even smaller than 1%. So we're going to, reject the null hypothesis, and we have a statistically significant result. So if we go back to our original question, yes, we have statistically significant evidence that this mandatory exercise break did increase their job satisfaction. The question might be, how much did it increase their job satisfaction level? So if we go back to our SPSS output, we see that we have a confidence interval here. We have a 95% confidence interval, and we're pretty confident that it increased the job satisfaction level somewhere between -13.8 and -3.1. So obviously in our sample, it increased it by -8.5, but when we have to make a guess as to how much will this affect the job satisfaction levels of everyone in the company, we think that on average it's going to increase job satisfaction levels, as according to the survey, somewhere between an increase of 3 and 13 points.